Hello, my name's Gabriel and I have what they call schizophrenia. So, the second video of tonight is about the movie A Beautiful Mind. I just finished watching the movie A Beautiful Mind. I think it was 2 hours and 15 minutes watching it. It was a good movie, but I have a few things to say about it. So, what I realized is, at least for me, the story was perfect, but the schizophrenia was a bit over exaggerated. So I've never hallucinated being in a building that didn't exist, or, you know, but I'm sure that there could be cases out there where people have. So for me, my main hallucinations, and when I was in psychosis, really, I had three kinds of hallucinations. The uh, the first ones were obviously auditory hallucinations. The second one was tactile, so I'd feel things touching me, and I still feel things touching me, but just not as often. And the third one, which was pretty rare, was visuals. And when I was in psychosis, I would see a beam of light come down from the ceiling right before I'd hallucinate, and some sort of I thought it was some sort of being being teleported into my room. That tripped me out. The clock over there in the corner of the screen, I thought that was a face for a second. Um, but yeah, I'd see beams of light come down from the corner of or not, from the roof, and when I saw it, I would hallucinate right after. I'd start hearing voices right after. So that was like the only visual hallucination that I've ever had, was a beam of light. And the other, oh, well, there's really two visual hallucinations I've had. The other one was sometimes if I stare at the roof or whatever, I'll see shapes. And it's like if you stare at a light bulb for 30 seconds and look away, you kind of see the light in the center of your vision, and the light moves based on where your eyes are looking. And that's I see that with shapes sometimes. So those are really the only two visual hallucinations I've ever had. I've never, to be honest, the movie made me afraid because the movie seemed to be more of a severe case, and I couldn't imagine hallucinating being in a vehicle and like having these friends that I thought were real. Like I can tell when I'm hallucinating, but the problem is when I'm in psychosis, um, I know that they're not real people, like physical people, but I think that they're like maybe like a ghost or something like that. So yeah, but I've never hallucinated a person and thought it was an actual human being who's alive. And watching the movie kind of scared me because my pills were already wearing off a little bit, so I'm a little bit triggered. I probably should have saved the movie for tomorrow morning, but I really wanted to see the movie, and yeah, I'm a bit triggered for tonight to say the least, and that's fine. I just took my clozapine about or 30 minutes ago, so it should be kicking in here shortly. So yeah, um, great movie, great story, but it's obviously of a very severe case. So I've heard voices, I've felt things touching me, and I've actually, there's probably a fourth hallucination that's not really talked about that I can add. The fourth hallucination is I can feel myself moving when I'm not actually moving. So sometimes I feel like I'm being pushed forward, and I'm not even moving when it happens. I refer to it as something pushing my spirit because it feels like I'm moving, but my body isn't actually moving, and it's like something pushes me. So it almost sometimes I refer to it as like a ghost or whatever trying to push my spirit out of my body and make me astral project. but that's obviously not the case. But that's just what it feels like. So that's a fourth kind of hallucination that's not really talked about. And I've probably smelt things that weren't there, but that's not really. I'm pretty sure everyone has that. But yeah, great movie. Obviously, I have a very severe case of schizophrenia. The kind of case that not many come back from, and I'm thankful to say that I'm not that far gone, and that I am properly medicated and all that. So I've had psychosis twice in my life, and um, the first time it was I went psychotic for like a couple days, and then the delusions lingered a little bit while I was put on meds. And then the second time was in 2020, and the second time was a living fucking hell. It was a living hell, man. And I never want to go back. And then after watching the movie, since my pills were kind of wearing out, my clozapine, it was kind of wearing out of my system. So, well, wasn't after the movie. While the movie was playing, it was wearing out of my system. So like 30 minutes before the movie ended, I went and took my clozapine, and I had a few symptoms, but I quickly brushed them off. I know they're just symptoms, and I know I'll feel better tomorrow. But I probably should have saved it for tomorrow. But I finished the movie, and I figured I'd make this video. Good movie. Obviously a severe case, like I said. And yeah. Um, as in terms of accuracy, like I said, it felt a little exaggerated, but there were parts that made sense. Like he had all these magazines cut up on the wall and all these codes, and he could see like words in newspapers, and he could like scramble them together, and he he thought there were like hidden messages. That part was very accurate. I've been through things like that too. But yeah, so that's my review on the movie A Beautiful Mind, coming from a schizophrenic person. My name's Gabriel, and I have what they call schizophrenia. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe. And I will see you in another video. Thank you. Have a good night.